Hello everybody. Today we will look at some of the aspects related to parliamentary system of governance as followed in India. At the central or federal level, we have the parliament, which consists of president, house of the people, council of states. In common parlance, we refer to house of the people as Lok Sabha and council of states as Rajya Sabha. The members of these houses are called as MPs or members of parliament. The term of a member of House of the People or Lok Sabha is 5 years, and the term of Council of States member is 6 years. Members of Lok Sabha are elected directly by the people, whereas the members of Rajya Sabha are elected by the elected members of Legislative Assembly, aka MLAs. MLAs elect the members of Rajya Sabha. President also nominates a few members, 12 members to Rajya Sabha who have special expertise in arts, social service, etc. At the state level, we have governor, legislative assembly, legislative council. Not all states have legislative councils, only a few of them has. Example, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Maharashtra, Karnataka, and a few others. The members of legislative assembly are called as MLAs. They are elected directly by the people. And the parliamentary system of governance which we follow in India is largely based on the system of governance followed in the Britain, which is known as the Westminster model or the British model of governance. In America or USA, they follow the presidential system of governance, which is different from the parliamentary system of governance followed in India. In India, we have the head of the government, who is the prime minister. In US, they have the head of the government, who is the president. The head of the state in India is the president, whereas head of the state in India, in USA, is president. Both the head of the state and head of the government is president in USA, whereas in India, the head of the government is the prime minister and the head of the state is the president. In any state, the three organs of governance are legislature, executive, and judiciary. This is based on the doctrine of separation of powers, as propounded by French political thinker Montesquieu. In India, executive is part of legislature. They are not separate like in the USA. We can say that in India, we don't follow strict separation of powers. Executive is part of the legislature. We can see that MPs who hold different portfolios like rural development, education, electronics and information technology, they are members of parliament. They take part in discussions of both the houses and they hold the portfolios. And executive is accountable to the legislature. In India, executive is accountable to the legislature. And we have the judiciary, which is independent from the interference of both legislature and executive. According to the basic structure doctrine as given by Supreme Court on April 24th, 1973, in the Keshavananda Bharati case, separation of powers is part of the basic structure of the Constitution. The basic structure doctrine was propounded by the Supreme Court in 1973 in the Keshavananda Bharati case. Basic structure doctrine says that there are certain features in the Constitution which cannot be taken away from the Constitution. Constitution provides the power to Parliament to amend it from time to time. Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Nothing or no one is above the Constitution. In the Keshavananda Bharati case, Supreme Court stated that there are certain characteristics or features in the Constitution which cannot be taken away via amendment. Examples include secularism, rule of law, separation of powers, etc., or federalism. These are some of the characteristics or features in the Constitution which are part of the basic structure of the Constitution as said by Supreme Court from time to time in different cases. Now we will look at how a bill will become an act. Act means a law, which will come into force. We will look at how it will become an act at the central level. The same can be extrapolated to the state level. For example, a bill can be introduced by a member or a minister. If it is introduced by a member, an individual member who is not part of the government, who is not a minister, he may be from the ruling party. If he is not a minister, then he will be called as a private member. If the bill is introduced by the private member, it is called as a private member's bill. If it is introduced by the government, it is called as the government's bill. It can be introduced in either house of the parliament. It can be introduced either in Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha. Once it gets introduced in either house and it gets passed, for example, if it gets introduced in Lok Sabha, it gets passed in Lok Sabha. If it is a normal ordinary bill, it should be passed by members of the majority of the members present and voting. That means if 300 people are present in the house and 200 people chose to vote on that particular instance, if the bill gets 101 votes, then it is deemed as passed from this house. Then it goes to the next house. Similarly, when it gets passed in Rajya Sabha also, then it is sent to President for his assent. Once the President signs the bill, then it will become an act. When it becomes an act, then it will become a law which can be enforced. These are some of the features related to the parliamentary system of governance as followed in India. Okay, this is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much.